Ladies and gentlemen, and now the presentation of the award ceremony. Norman Powell. Fred VanVleet. Marc Gasol. Kyle Lowry. Pascal Siakam. Pascal Siakam. Let's hear it for the NBA Champions.
Well, we can finally say it. The NBA regular season is about to get underway. And here at 2K Sports, we couldn't be happier. With Greg Anthony and Brent Barry, this is Kevin Harlan. You'll be hearing from David Aldridge on the sideline. And the starting lineup for the Pelicans, Zion is the 4 with Favors at the 5. Ball and Holiday combine at the guard spots. And it's Ingram in at the small forward position. And for the Raptors, Siakam at power forward with Gasol at center. Lowry out there with Fred VanVleet. And it's Powell in at the small forward. Opening night, Brent, always exciting. Technically, every team is undefeated with a lot of hope.
You're just fired up. I mean,
I am fired
The
up.
NBA never stops, Kevin. We
I
know this, right?
Isn't it great, though? I'm so glad it doesn't
Oh,
stop.
the offseason is just absolutely ridiculously
fun.
exciting.
So fun.
So much movement and hope for franchises that, have struggled for a long time. And here we go. Hope springs eternal. It's opening night.
Gasol, no good.
That's the only kind of defense that's going to cut the mustard here tonight. You got to stay on top of a guy.
Look at that jam.
No way.
I mean, just beautiful.
How about Drew Holiday? Unselfish, team-first player. Love that from the guard position.
VanVleet finds Lowry. And he overshot that one, missing.
That's exactly how you have to defend him. He's a guy that the D needs to be aware of at all times.
Here's Williamson from 13 feet. It goes down.
And Ball sets up his teammates. And when they're open, quick to whip it around. One of the best ball movers in the league.
Lowry feeling it out a bit. And there's Marc Gasol on the assist by Lowry.
And he knows how to make good use of his size in that low block. And Gasol's inside game is very refined. There's a smoothness to how he approaches it.
And so the ball's out of bounds. Ingram touched it last. The Raptors have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far.
And over the last few seasons, Kyle Lowry's scoring trending downward. His assists increasing, though, dramatically, relying more on his teammates to get the job done.
Favors dishes to Ingram. Shoots over Powell. Again, the Pelicans score.
Gotta see Ingram get going down low. Just another dimension of his game that he continues to develop.
And we've seen Lowry settling for more perimeter shots in recent years.
I mean, he's always had a great motor, but you have to adapt as you get older. Some back issues starting to creep in, and important for him to stay healthy along the way.
And the most improved player in the league last season, Pascal Siakam, got better in every statistical category.
Catching up on the changes for Toronto. Serge Ibaka has checked in for Gasol. Hollis Jefferson comes in for Norman Powell, and McCaw is subbed in for Fred VanVleet. And they now lead as the free throw drops for him. The Pelicans have gotten their first 3 shots to go in for him to start off this game. Passes it to Hayes. Dishes it to Redick. Right wing. Ball feeling it out a bit. 5 to shoot. Pass to Redick. Takes the 3. Toronto grabs the miss.
In their meetings last year, they split the season series. Happens a fair amount between teams from the East and West.
Yeah, even when it comes to matchups where it looks like one side should be the clear favorite, those brief 2-game series often end 1-1.
17 seconds left to play in the first quarter. To the left wing. Here's Ball. Hits it from 3-point range.
Yeah, Redick more than happy to get off the ball that time and spot the open man.
And that one is off. It's all tied in Toronto. The second quarter coming up right after this break, so don't go anywhere. Making his mark in Toronto, guard Kyle Lowry talked about the pioneers of Canadian basketball, like Vince Carter.
Vince Carter really changed the game of basketball in Canada. He created something that is forever lasting, and I think the game of basketball in Canada owes him a lot because he really brought the buzz to the game of basketball in Canada.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Carter's exciting style of play, GA, really energized the whole country.
And playing basketball in a hockey town isn't easy, but Carter really helped get this city and country energized about the game of basketball.
And it's been a pretty even game here after 1 quarter of play. And guys, what's your take on Toronto so far?
Well, in that first quarter, they were intent on just pounding the ball down low.
Yeah, you don't see that all that often, getting down there and doing that much damage in a quarter. You got to respect the game plan.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. So for New Orleans right now, they're back there, Ball and Redick. Williams is out there with Hayes, and it's Hart in at the 3.
Well, a new start for Lonzo Ball, part of that massive Anthony Davis trade over the summer. And for Lonzo, things not working out in L.A. I wonder if being away from everything that L.A. offers up is going to allow Lonzo to focus back in both on playing and on making sure his body is ready for the rigors of an 82-game season.
That one is off. And with the Pelicans, Ball can be quite dangerous in an Alvin Gentry offense.
Yeah, this up-tempo style that Alvin likes to play, a lot of it borrowed from the 7 seconds or less offense of Mike D'Antoni, is going to be very exciting. They could be a league pass team as Lonzo Ball loves to advance it with the pass, finding players like Ingram, Holiday, and of course Zion Williamson on the break could lead to some exciting basketball in the Bayou.
Here's Anunoby.
Taking a look now at some numbers for Lonzo Ball. Last season's performance for him averaged about 10 points a game, 5 assists, and 5 rebounds. And a quality player. I love what he brings to the table at that backup point guard position.
I think coaches appreciate a guy that comes in and knows how to run the offense with some intelligence. That's exactly what he does.
And he can't get the first one. Well, the Raptors' Nick Nurse winning an NBA title in his first season. Greg is an NBA head coach.
The first time a head coach who'd also helmed a team in a foreign league has won it. Nurse often reminisces fondly on those days coaching in Europe. And this summer he was entrusted with coaching the Canadian national team at the FIBA World Cup.
And the second free throw, good. 2 seasons at Indiana for OG Anunoby, and the 23rd pick of the 2017 draft. Great talk about his game.
You know, NBA ready physically from day one. You know, still working for consistency with his shooting, especially at the free throw line. But I like his potential as a two-way player.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, one of the reasons Toronto was able to win the NBA championship was the astronomical improvement from Pascal Siakam, who was recognized as the league's most improved player. It was the dream of Pascal's late father that he'd reach this level, and his determination to make that reality has brought him a long way from home. Kevin?
It has indeed, D.A. Great story, and thank you. Powell, the pass to Van Vliet.
That's his first personal foul.
Here's Van Vliet. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. To the paint. And it's blocked by Holiday.
Yeah, get that out of there. That's all timing right there. Drew Holiday continuing hustle play.
Here's Van Vliet. No good on the three.
And on an open look like that, he's very gifted at making the weak coverage pay.
Outside Holiday. And there's the pass to Alexander Walker. Shoots over Powell. No luck that time on the shot that would have put them on top. 56 seconds left now here in the second. Van Vliet looking around. Pass to Ibaka. 6 to shoot. Over Williams. Shots good by Ibaka. Ibaka's got his first points of the game.
And a multiple-time all-defensive first-teamer, Ibaka has really rounded out the offensive part of his game.
Holiday, the pass to Alexander Walker. Missed inside. Raptors leading by 3. And here is Powell. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Down low. Here's Gasol. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup.
And those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten here in the first half.
From deep. No good on the last second attempt there. And some good action through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. The Raptors out in front. They're up by 5. We'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. The first quarter for the Raptors was fairly even. They were unable to ever build a big lead in the first period, with 3 points being their largest cushion. The second quarter largely belonged to them as they took charge of the game and jumped out to a 5-point lead at the break. And taking a look at the Raptors, Kenny, what did you see out there?
Well, so far, they've taken care of their business here at home. It's something you might expect, but it's not a given. We'll see if they can keep that up in the second half.
Shaq, how do you think New Orleans played?
Well, they spent a lot of time away from the basket offensively. They need to get in the paint, Ernie. Whether it's running the offense to the low post or on dribble drives, pick and rolls, get into it.
And that's going to do it for our halftime show, sadly. Third quarter about to start. See you again after the final.
Horn. Oh, buzzer.
And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet. Pascal Siakam, guys, really making a difference here.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything that the league can do to slow him down. He's just that good.
Yeah, avalanche warning in this one. He is just on a roll.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge.
And last season, the shadow of Anthony Davis's trade request hanging over this Pelicans franchise. A lot to wrestle with.
Yeah, it was an interesting year for the organization with all the news on AD wanting that trade and then nothing happening and then resting him. But I'll tell you what, this wasn't just something where that problem was swept under the rug. The Pelicans decided to just blow that all away. New leadership in the front office, ownership, a revamped roster, the first overall pick in Zion Williamson. The excitement in New Orleans after that trade is on an all-time high.
Siakam at power forward with Gasol at center. Fred VanVleet out there with Lowry, and it's Powell in at the 3, the small forward. That's Nick Nurse's 5 as we get into the second half. That one's good, and the Raptor lead is cut down to 5 on the bucket from Williamson.
And normal physicality doesn't get it done with Williamson. To stop him from scoring, you really have to up the ante and get him before he hits that launching pad.
Now here's VanVleet. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Bangs home the trifecta. VanVleet's got the lead up to 8 now for the Raptors. Brent, the moving screen is one of those very difficult judgment calls, isn't it?
It's a tough one, Kevin, but what you look for all the time in replays when you see that call, it's almost like the salsa. I'm looking at the hips and the feet. If the feet are too wide, and Kevin Garnett was the biggest problematic moving screen setter that I ever saw, being 6'11" and spreading out those sticks of his. But if the feet go wider than the shoulder, impossible. And then the hip move as the defender is moving around the screener, just enough of a nudge for him not to be able to catch up.
Yes.
Those are the ones where the referees, I think, are most in tune to in order to blow the whistle. Well, the new front office in New Orleans, led by David Griffin, opting to keep Alvin Gentry as a head coach, a great decision because the players that they brought in the trade for Anthony Davis are going to love to play at that fast pace. You add Zion Williamson to that mix, this team immediately becomes one of the more interesting and exciting young teams in the NBA.
Hollis Jefferson's checked in for the Raptors. Patrick McCaw comes in for Fred VanVleet. The Pelicans also changing it up. Hayes, he's checked in for Favors. Josh Hart comes in for Ingram. And J.J. Redick is subbed in for Drew Holiday. Knocked away. Now the Raptors moving it up. Here's McCaw. And the layup's good off the glass. And now it's a 10-point Raptor lead.
Beautiful transition offense there. That's execution at its best.
Yeah, once you burst through a seam like that, you got to look right towards the rim. Sweet play.
Hayes dishes to Redick. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Hart. And the Pelicans miss again. And so Siakam will bring it up for the Toronto Raptors. 10-point lead. This is their biggest. Hollis Jefferson, good.
When the player gets a feel for that floater, it can really make things tough on defenders. You're just not sure how to guard them and where your point of commitment is.
And he lobs it up. And the dunk by Williamson.
And yeah, he's 280 pounds. We've never seen anyone hang in the air like this young man. Williamson is special.
Outside for Gasol. That falls. Nice feed that time from Kyle Lowry. Lowry's got 4 assists in the game. There's 18 seconds left to play in the third. Now Redick. No points in the game yet for him. Lets it go with a 3. Williamson can't get it to fall. And so it's Toronto. 13 points up at the end of the period. And we'll see if they can keep up their tremendous shooting they've been dialed in so far from the field. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. And a chance right now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
Yeah, those are the kind of plays that you want to put on a canvas. Just beautiful basketball.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. On the court for the Pelicans, getting the fourth quarter going, their backcourt, Ball and Redick. Hart is out there with Williamson, and it's Hayes in at the center, filling out the middle. Here's McCall. The Raptors need to get a shot off. With the shot, here's Ibaka. Cross contact on the shot, and now a three-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
And Greg, last season, the best scoring average of Serge Ibaka's career.
Even with a down year as far as his three-point shooting, Ibaka's still very efficient, getting more of his offense around the rim, playing some at the 5.
Norman Powell's checked in for Toronto. Fred VanVleet comes in for Patrick McCall. The free throw drops for Ibaka. Brent, to compete for a championship in this NBA, you need at least, a dynamic duo. You need two guys, big-name superstar players. Name some of your favorite 1-2 punches in the game now.
Well, right now, you could go multiple options. Lillard and McCollum have been tremendous in Portland, pushing that team last year to the Western Conference Finals. What are we seeing in the Simmons-Embiid combination and their potential in Philadelphia for the future? And if we wanted to go back maybe to the guys in the crib right now, what about Trae Young and a combination around Luka Doncic and Porzingis? Trae Young adding another draft pick for the Atlanta Hawks. What's coming down the pipe from these other teams with the young studs that they have?
And that one misses. Well, if there was ever a no-doubt #1 pick, it is Zion Williamson. Brent, New Orleans jumped at the chance to draft him.
Yeah, hard to think of a transition where you have a transcendental star in Anthony Davis in the 7 seasons he gave to the Pelicans, that Zion Williamson would come in and almost make you, and I don't mean this in a bad way, Kevin, but forget about AD. There's that much excitement and enthusiasm around what the talent set is and the skill set of this young star player could be.
And the more you hear about Drew Holiday, a magnetic personality. He really connects with his teammates.
It'll be very interesting to watch the growth of Drew Holiday in that aspect this year, Kevin, with all of the additions of young, unrealized talent. Zion Williamson, Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram. Drew Holiday has got to be much more of a conductor this year, along with keeping his levels of performance elite.
Free throw, good, Holiday.
Well, Drew Holiday and his brother Justin had some hard-fought games in the driveway. I know a little bit about that. We never ever finished those games, Kevin. Too much fighting going on. And by the end of it, both Drew and Justin Holiday find themselves in the NBA.
All free throws good from Drew Holiday. And Brent, that fierce, competitive nature for Drew Holiday, still there to this day.
Yeah, so much talk from his coach, Alvin Gentry, about Drew working himself constantly to exhaustion, just continuing to push the limits. And he'll sit at his locker, he'll take a long shower. He doesn't want to move till his body recovers He knows how important this game is to him and how important now he is to the Pelican franchise moving forward.
Williamson, the pass to Holiday. With some arc, Ingram wide open. It's good. The assist that time from Holiday. Holiday's got his third assist on the night. And the Raptors call time here. They're ahead by 9. 1:10 left in the fourth quarter. A chance now to recognize our Jordan player of the game, Marc Gasol.
Yeah, and his percentage from the field tonight, just amazing. He hadn't just been gunning. He's been picking his spots, and you need that kind of patience and discipline to shoot as well as he has.
He doesn't take over games like this very much, but it's always possible. And when he does, here at home, these fans love it. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, during that break, Coach Nick Nurse talked to his team. He talked about the mindset they need to have and what he wants to see the rest of the way. Engagement at both ends and making good decisions with the ball. Guys?
Thanks so much, David. Over to the wing from outside the arc, and it's Ball that time on the assist by Holiday.
And Ball has tremendous confidence in that shot. As soon as the pass hits his hands, he's ready to pull up.
Van Vliet finds Siakam. Back to Van Vliet. And the bucket is good. Three-point play chance here for him.
Finishing strong. This is how you want to close things out.
Yeah, definitely putting a stamp on this one. A very, very decisive victory for the club tonight.
Marc Gasol's checked in for the Raptors.
Breathe easy now. The biggest free throws in the game, and he's coming through.
Moore outside. To the middle. Looking for Gasol. He gets it there. 5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. And the shot goes in from Siakam.
This arena was rocking throughout the night. You could really feel the energy.
Yeah, huge motivation. Always great for a young team, but veteran players also appreciate when fans come with that kind of energy and get into the spirit of the game.
Marc Gasol. That's his first personal foul. At the line for 2.
Free throw good, Okafor. Both free throws good from Okafor. Outside Gasol. And so Toronto takes this one, but by a big margin. A confident win, and one where they clearly showed the greater effort.
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid performance, particularly here at home. And I think they built